The Climate Change Atlas is a tool that lets you explore how tree and bird habitats in the eastern United States might be affected by a changing climate. In this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview of how the Climate Change Atlas works and what kinds of questions it can help you answer. Additional tutorials are available to help you dive into some of the specific features and details of the atlas. You can use the menu on the left to skip or repeat tutorial sections. To examine the question of what might happen to trees and birds as the climate changes, a group of researchers with the Forest Service developed a series of species distribution models that form the basis of the tree and bird atlases. In case you're like most people and are wondering, what is a species distribution model? I'll give a brief explanation using the tree atlas as an example. The process for modeling birds is very similar. Basically, there are a lot of factors that help to determine where certain tree species currently are and are not located. Some of these factors, or predictor variables, include soil characteristics, elevation, predominant land use for the area, and climate, for example, the area's average temperature and precipitation. In a species distribution model, like the ones provided in the atlas, all of these variables are included, along with actual current data on tree species and their locations. The Climate Change Atlas used 3 million tree records from the Forest Inventory and Analysis, or FIA data, as inputs. The model can then statistically assess how each predictor variable is related to the current tree distribution in the eastern U.S. For example, take this hypothetical tree, tree X. The model may show that tree X will find suitable habitat where the organic matter content of the soil is moderate and average summer temperature is relatively cool. Alternatively, tree X may also find suitable habitat where the average summer temperature is higher, but where summer precipitation is above average and soil productivity is low. So, where these specific combinations of temperature, precipitation, and soil conditions occur, habitat will likely be suitable for tree X. This is all great, but of course we already know where most of the current suitable habitat is located because we can go out and see where trees are actually growing. So why do we need a model to do this? First of all, it's impractical to examine every tree in the eastern United States, so the model helps us look at current suitable habitat over a large area. Second, the model becomes very useful in trying to project what will happen in the future. With the model's relationships in place, researchers can substitute climate data projected for the year 2100 in place of current climate data. This way, we can use the model to see how potential suitable tree habitat might change under these new climate conditions. For the atlases, researchers used data on future climates from 3 different climate models, under both low and high greenhouse gas emission scenarios, to get a range of possible future conditions. For many of the species in the atlas, future suitable habitat is very different depending on whether a low or a high emission scenario is used. Which emission scenario will most closely match future conditions is still a big uncertainty here, and is highly dependent on human actions and policies. But it's important to note that even a low emission scenario can cause significant changes for many species. Altogether, 134 tree species and 147 bird species are included in the Climate Change Atlas. The atlas can be used to answer questions about where these species are currently located, what predictor variables like soil type or elevation contribute to them being there, and what might happen to all of the suitable habitat under different climate scenarios. This can be used to make more educated decisions about how to manage a forest, or simply to get an idea about how your environment might be different in the future. Please do keep in mind that these models only predict where suitable species habitats will be in the future. They can't predict whether the trees will actually be there, since that depends on other things, like how quickly or effectively trees can migrate and colonize new areas, and what species they will have to compete with when they get there. We hope that this helps you get started using the Climate Change Atlas. Thanks for watching.